We often heard that metaphor. Light of awareness is like a light of the projector, which create movies, stories, images. Light of awareness is totally different dimension of the visible light. Therefore, we can know that light of awareness is non-effective, cannot be touched by any physical phenomena. When the director is making the movie, actors has to keep on playing without seeing the camera. When they looked at camera, filming has to be stopped because it ruins the reality of the stories. So we can always remember that whenever we acknowledge the light of awareness, being aware, the awareness that we are letting go of the mind and relax into the presence, oftentimes throughout the day, we can transcend, we can cut off stream of the stories and then become one with higher self, which means perceive everything as director sees. We know that when they make films, they don't create the footage along the storyline. In other words, they might make last scene from the beginning, and then we can be aware that from the perspective of higher self, there are already infinite amount of scenarios, slice of the pictures, footage, in other words, parallel realities of the last moment of this life of individual. We have infinite amount of possibilities how we experience of this infinite potential of parallel slice, which is already here now, moment by moment. How we experience of moment is new creation, new vibration to all that is. We usually give our attention to the stories, how we perceive and thought forms. In other words, we usually totally be involved with the stories, identify ourselves as a player of the game or a main character. And then sometimes we realized we didn't allow ourselves to live fully. Therefore, it's always important to be aware of the awareness, director of the movie, higher self. In other words, player of the game. This human part of consciousness is not the player. It is allower, just existing itself, already contributing to higher self. And when we give our attention to greater I am, higher self, we can be fully utilize our true power, our true nature. We can truly fulfill our role as a main character. Anyway, we are higher self. We are consciousness. Anyway, we are all that is, and we are consciousness, and this human consciousness is never be separated from greater I am. Just most of the time, this human consciousness is diminishing and suppressing the energy of this love and light. So, all we can do is just be open to it more and more, instead of being identified ourselves as human shapes and forms and focusing on the stories and so on. As we give attention to the light of awareness, give attention to the awareness that we are, all these different people in the stories, things and stuff, are becoming more lighter and subtler. It's like a pixel. It used to be so clearly recognize them as a solid, physical shapes and forms. But as we give attention to the awareness, sense into presence, everything becoming more lighter, becoming more energy, becoming more flowing, and then we can be aware that everything dissolve into screen, dissolve into light of awareness, being aware as one consciousness, connectedness, all that isness. It is always help to be aware of light of awareness, which create all the perceptions and images and stories. Allow this body to be open to higher wisdom and light, which is orchestrating all the stories, all the physical phenomena. And then this human consciousness can be playing full out its highest potential in this movie called Individual Life.